Yes.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. It is On the Bar with Bella Marie.
And Sierra.
Sterling.
Savannah.
And I'm Cammie.
Welcome back, guys.
Woo.
Oh, we
I
got
love-
some.
I love that ASMR intro.
I know. I had to
we should have done like
tapping
an
the mic.
ASMR
I know.
I'm Savannah.
I know.
Wait.
I wanted to give them something a little different for the intro because I feel like I usually kind of am like, "Hey, y'all!" I bring in my Ohioanness to it. So I was like, in the moment, I was like,
I loved it.
Yes.
a little improvness. But we're gonna start off with some life updates before we get into our topic of how we all got here to little old LA.
Right.
But anyone got any update? I mean, I would say for me specifically, my biggest update is just like last night we all went out and had some fun, went to some bars, and it was super cute. And
What bar did you go to?
we went to 4100 and we also went to Lock and Key.
Oh,
And it Carrie's face.
I don't have the best time at Lock and Key.
Okay,
Wait,
so
why
I remember you
not?
saying that.
Like really fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I think it was just the night we went.
I don't know. I think it might not just be my vibe.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Like
'Cause
when
it's
I
too
go there,
crowded?
like, I
I
don't have
don't
the
know,
best
I
time at
think-
Lock and Key.
I want to know what it looks like when you've gone there, because literally when I was there, I was like, Cammie would love this.
Yeah, when we were
Yeah,
there,
like-
I was
yeah,
like,
like,
Cammie,
it was
we're having a
definitely-
ball right
Like
now.
it was
giving?
just like giving your vibe. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how to like.
No, literally when we were there, I said to Savannah, I was like, Cammie would be having
yes,
a ball.
literally, I was like, and she would.
And she
I
would.
probably
Music.
would.
I probably would have.
So
Yeah.
what happened the night that you
Well,
and
the few times I've gone, like when I go to Lock and Key, it just is like calm. Like it's calm and there's just like random people. My problem is I don't like the normies. I don't like being around normies.
That's fair. No,
so
that's fair.
when we
Is
went
that
last
bad to say?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
what constitutes a normie though?
Constitutes a normie is like it's like this sounds bad. Like I don't want to put this. I don't want this to
No, like
be part
no
of it.
way.
No,
like,
it's
yeah.
like the truth.
I don't like a normie is like the like a person who's like wait guys
Like they have
guys,
like
I feel
normal. They have like normal like goals and shit.
yes
Like
see.
you want to
Yeah.
be like a fucking store manager. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be like a fucking store manager and you're not trying to be like building your own company and be the CEO.
Yeah.
You want to be
Yeah.
the worker,
Right.
not the
you're
CEO.
gonna pay to go to this event.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
There's
that's
nothing wrong
I think
with
that is
that.
the biggest like for you specifically. Like, will they pay to get in? I feel
Right.
like
Yeah,
would
that is
constitute
really-
as a
Also,
normie.
Yes.
As a
Are
normie.
you okay with paying a cover
recognizing that
charge?
people
That's-
have like different
You're
goals, and like to them, like being a normie is not an insult.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I
just
love
You know what
that.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like some people want to do.
Yes.
That's what they want to do.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone has their own, and there is someone meant for that type of person.
And we need people. We need that.
Yes.
We need that in
It's-
our
it's the
society.
same thing as,
We
like,
need to
for short kings.
disillusion the people into thinking that everybody needs to be a creative.
Right.
Like actually.
Like,
Right.
We
Yeah,
need
yeah.
plumbers. we need fucking
I think we talked about that.
I mean, I'm just saying, and I'll pay you for it. They
We
make
kind of
good
talked about
money.
it actually last
They do.
A plumber actually makes good money.
Electricians.
Right, and
Yes.
he will pay
And he's
that
coming
premium to
home.
get you in the car.
And
He's
he's
coming home
coming
every night.
Right.
He's gonna lay his head
And he
down.
has-
My thing
steady
though,
income.
my thing with that is that like I will run out of things to talk about with that man.
Exactly.
We will just stare at each other.
Well, that's
Exactly.
not
Where the
your
toilet
man.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I don't like going
Yeah.
to clubs where it's just normies. Because
Yeah.
what am I going to talk to you about?
Literally,
Right.
literally.
Yeah.
And for
Well,
the
so-
folks at home, Cammie, I have never seen Cammie pay a cover charge in my life, nor have I ever seen her wait in line in my life.
Yeah.
That's
To
the kindest
anything.
thing
No,
you've
that's
ever
true.
said to
We
me.
were
It's-
in line last night and we said we should have just pulled
Walked-
a Cammie and walked to the
Yes,
front.
literally. It's not even pulling a Cammie. It's pulling a
Pretty girl.
A pretty
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Pulling out your face
and
card.
it was funny because when we were in line, we were like waiting for a bit, and I literally looked at them and I was like, "We should have just walked to the front." They ended up coming up to us and being like, "How many come to the front?"
Right.
Right.
See, but then
Yeah.
that's also the universe. So it's like even if you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
even if you
Yeah, so
don't
they
go to
ended
the
up-
front.
Yeah, they ended up
pulling us and being like,
Yeah.
"Come to the, just come in."
Which
Yeah.
bar?
And this was at Lock and Key.
Hell yeah.
And so then, but so when you said it was calm, like that's so interesting because it was chaotic as fuck last night.
It was giving like familiar
Yeah.
faces, like, and I know what you like type shit. You know
Damn.
what I'm saying? We know
Like
the one night you
Like-
stay in.
but like
I know the type of function.
I
Like,
should have gone the fuck out.
You
Yeah.
should have.
but it's okay. But it's okay because like if that's the, I don't know if like that was just like, I don't know. Hopefully that's what it is like on Saturday nights because like
Yeah.
it was.
I've been there on Saturday. I think there must have been like an event or something or something.
Maybe.
It might have been. I know.
Wasn't it the
I,
spring equinox or something?
Oh, I'm screaming.
Yeah, that's totally the turn
Optimal.
That's
Optimal.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait. I do have to explain this from last night. So, not at Lock and Key, but at 4100, there was some sort of like event or like costume party or something happening. We think that there might have been like a bridal like shower,
Like some groom,
Some-
something.
groom something. Bachelorette party. That's the word. Like a bachelorette party happening. But for some reason, there was like a blue man group contest happening. So there was like
There were like all of these
random men just
white
dressing.
guys.
That's also slightly my dream. wait,
what
the
do you
blue man
mean?
means so much to me, guys.
No way.
Hey, explain.
They're like a huge thing in Mormon
Hey, can you explain that?
Please.
Hey, crash course.
I don't know. It's like the Blue Man Group, and it's the people who sing. I think it's Coldplay. Yeah, Coldplay.
Coldplay or Mormon? Wait,
no,
that
they're
makes-
not Mormon.
oh.
They're just like they collab with a lot of Mormon
Like, that
artists.
makes sense.
There's like people that collab with like specifically Mormon artists.
Okay.
And
That makes sense for
Coldplay.
Coldplay.
does that.
Yeah, that makes
Right?
That adds
yeah,
up.
That
Amen. Maybe on the rocks, the red rocks.
Is it
Oh, Colorado.
is it because they don't have like problematic lyrics and they don't curse in their?
I think that too, and I think
Yeah.
also like
It's just like the
Christianity.
sound.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Christian rock.
From Boston too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
like,
but they just
Which
like,
high?
They
Like,
just like
so
give
funny.
off
literally,
that way.
I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
I don't know.
I think also
Just
like
makes sense.
their
Yeah.
Christian value, like truly,
Coldplay
like,
or Blue Man Group?
like I think like both. Right? Coldplay. I would say Coldplay.
Coldplay just, like,
I think Coldplay
family.
Coldplay songs. I think you can attribute like you can take their lyrics and be like, see, they're talking about God because
Yep.
they're like so vaguely just like about living life. You know?
yellow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus,
Yeah.
actually. But no, that's so funny. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of guys that
Just all Blue Man Group.
Wow, I can't believe I
I only saw one of them.
I saw.
I saw like
that
3.
AMF gets me every time.
Oh, you got another one?
That
Yeah.
fucking adios, motherfucker.
I know you were feeling good.
Adios.
I know
Like,
it.
It was bright blue this time too.
I only saw one guy, and I was like, "Oh, period."
no,
And
there
we,
was
we were
There was
waiting in
definitely
line.
there was
five.
like
for the-
3. There, I definitely saw minimum 3.
Really?
Yeah.
that
Wow.
trend, whatever that trend is, the lookalike contests. Let's
Those are so
keep
funny.
that
Those are
around.
so
Those
funny.
are so funny.
I love
I
that.
just
I
wish the
recently I
winners
saw
would
one that
win
was
stuff.
like bad hairline competition. The person with the worst hairline got a hat.
Not they got a hat and not hair growth serum.
They should have gotten a trip to Turkey to get that hair plug surgery.
Right.
Been like Andrew
That's-
Garfield.
Yeah. And
I
you know
have-
he roughed
See,
it
the
up.
thing about getting cosmetic surgery in Turkey is that they give you the same face. Like
yeah.
everyone like
The
has
same
hairline.
hairline.
Nose.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like give me like a unique nose. Like,
But that's why I have another
Yeah.
reason, like reason 305 why I have no sympathy for bald men is that like you can fix that.
If you don't go buy hair
some
serum
bald
like an
men,
adult.
like enjoy being bald.
I
know,
do
I
like
know.
a bald
One of my
man.
family friends, he shaves his head.
I just want to
Yeah,
slap
like
just
it.
some
loves being
people,
bald.
like it's like I feel like it's like I wanted to say a cult. It's like not. No, it's,
It's like a
not.
preference.
Like,
But, like,
have
it
you
is,
watched
like,
Curb?
it's
Curb
No.
Your Enthusiasm?
No.
Wait, what?
Yes, yes.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Is
Oh.
that the name of
Curb Your
Yes.
Enthusiasm?
Is that the name? Of
Caribbean?
Yeah, it's a show.
Caribbean Baddies East.
Wait, do you say Curb or Caribbean?
Baddies Caribbean.
Oh,
Caribbean.
Wait, what?
Season 2.
Season
Best.
2 of Baddies
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that show, but it's a show.
But they just talk about how there's a bald club in that,
Oh.
in that show. How did we get here?
They do. They like it's like a pact. They like have to stay bald for each other.
Yeah. And you're supposed to take care of each other. Like bald people are supposed to like look out for each other.
Yeah.
They hold
Well, they
space.
should because I'm after them. I'm gonna get them one by one.
I'm just gonna collect them like fucking bowling pins.
Get them one by one.
Oh my.
Pop.
I'm crying.
No, not get them like that.
Call
Get
up
them
the
like
plumber, he gets them
eradicate
fucking-
them.
Eradicate.
I don't
What they
like
do to
bald
you?
men. I don't
What
like
they
them.
do to
We've
you?
discussed this before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh
My irrational fear of bald men. I don't know if you were there for that episode.
no, I wasn't. You have an irrational
fear.
Like
Yeah.
you have fear instilled in your heart whenever you see a man who's bald.
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
It's subsided since I was a child, but like I just don't like
Oh
them.
my
Wait, so how do you
God.
feel about receding hairline?
Like this, I'm suspicious. Like I'm watching you.
She gets chills up
You
her.
know?
What about our good friend Jalen too? Tell me what,
Oh,
what
yes.
he
Oh,
incites
yes.
in you.
He wears
he's
hats.
he's very
does
like
wear hats.
nice and kind. I don't really feel that. I think I'm putting it together. I think it's white bald men.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, should I call my stepdad right now? My stepdad is a white bald man.
Okay, so Jalen's never gonna watch this. Hopefully, he probably will.
He most likely will. Hi,
Yeah.
Jalen.
Hi, Jalen. The reason why he's called Jalen too, I feel like I just forgot to spill this tea
Wait,
really
he doesn't
quick.
know?
No.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, do you have to?
No.
Do you feel the need to explain
Yeah.
it?
I kind
don't
of
think
want
you have.
to.
Okay, if you
Okay.
want
I
to.
think it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I also don't think he'll watch this. I think I can sneak that. LOL. I just dated 2 Jalen's in a row.
Yeah.
That's the whole tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
We've all been there.
So to differentiate the
Jalen
two,
one
we had
and there's
Jalen
Jalen
1 and
two.
Jalen 2.
That was
In
the whole
chronological order,
payoff of
Jalen
that
1 is
moment.
1 and Jalen 2 is 2.
That was the whole payoff. So sorry.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
what we were talking about.
I was kind of exaggerating the bald thing for comedic effect, but I hope that our viewers out there know that I can be cordial to bald people.
If you're bald, you're safe.
I'm sorry. I like how you really said, I need you to know if you're bald, I can't have a conversation with you. We could work together should we need to.
I don't like a shiny, but it's the shininess of it.
I don't
like,
really?
I like the shine.
I
like
like
the
it.
shine.
I
no,
actually-
the shine is
needs
what
to
like
be
gets
matte.
me. I'm like shit.
I
Like
prefer
where can
that
I see
over
myself?
like a
on your
stubble.
head.
Yeah,
You
I don't like
prefer
the
No,
stubble.
I
like
don't
a-
want to
like a-
stop. No, because like
Here's the
I don't
thing.
like a.
A shine on a black man. A shine on a black
I mean, a
man
black man
is different.
Okay,
That's-
that's
yes.
different. That's
Right?
different.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess
We're on the same
Ooh,
page.
yeah. Like a Magic Mike type of shine. That's what we're talking about.
Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Mr. Clean versus.
I just think of yeah.
But I mean, shit. His head is clean, Mr.
Well,
he keeps it clean.
He does.
He be scrubbing.
Shit. Ooh.
And all that back to the Blue Men group. We're at the bar you guys were at.
I'm
Yes.
screaming. Yep.
But so that's my update. Is there any other updates that we have that are worth?
I had a great day today.
Tell us about your day.
It was the ideal day. I woke up and
You woke up.
I went to Balboa Park and I had my magic number of clients. My favorite number is 3. That's a sweet spot where
the
I feel
magic
like it's worth my time, but I'm not exhausted. I did 3 family shoots with little kids, which were my favorite to do because you just get to hang out with little kids, and they were all very nice, like very sweet little kids. And I never thought I would enjoy working with kids, but I really do enjoy taking photos. And it was such a pretty day. The weather was nice.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful,
Lovely day.
Tis
so
a
nice
beautiful
outside.
day.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's my update.
That's okay. Yay!
And then I got to come here, and now we're recording with all my friends.
No, literally.
In Yap City.
In
What time
Yap
do you have to like
City.
wake up? Like, how long does it take you to do 3 people?
It's 30-minute sessions.
Wow.
So yeah, they're so quick.
That's
They're
nice.
just the right amount of time for like little kids who are like super just like full of it, energy and are like running around and stuff. Like you get in, you take your pictures as fast as you can, and then they lose interest and then they go. So it's like perfect.
That sounds so lovely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Is that through a company?
Yeah, it's through a company called with 2 T's.
Period.
And it's like Uber for photographers, basically. Like you book a time and then a photographer shows up, and then we do like whatever session you want to do. It's usually like family or maternity or engagement. And yeah, within those 30 minutes we just like shoot as much as we can, and then they go and buy the gallery. It's really nice. Like I feel like it gives me so much energy in life to be doing the thing that I love doing, you know? So yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's a great thing.
Amazing.
I love baddies doing their dreams.
No,
you know what I mean? Like just
literally.
doing their job.
Like
at that point.
right, the grind.
And to
Yeah.
hear this from like last week, where like you were like, this retrograde is fucking me up, to like now I'm like, okay, it's getting better.
It's exactly what you said. Remember during that time you were like using yourself as an example where the week prior you were going through it, and
Literally.
then yeah.
Exactly. You never know what, like, the looking back, like last week you're like in like the worst part, and then like you're in this week and you're like, oh my gosh, it's crazy how fucking time works. Oh, time. Oh,
Well,
time.
my update is I'm currently at the other end.
Damn.
No, but
Stay
like not in a
strong.
bad way. Not in a bad way. Just I'm at school from 9 a.m. until 11 p.m. every day,
Ugh.
including Saturdays. Like Saturdays are just go days.
Damn.
So
And that show
yeah,
rot. How's the
Yeah.
show going?
it's a work in progress right now.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about it later.
Off the
Yeah,
pod.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm just like tired. But I have one more week until of school, and then it's spring break.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything, or are you just taking a break?
Spring break will be me catching up on homework and
Okay.
just getting fucking lit.
Yeah.
bro.
period.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Every day we
When
lit.
is it? It's next week.
Yeah.
Slay.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
close.
gonna be
You
lit.
can taste it.
You're going to Boston?
I am. Yeah. I'm just going for like a cute little one too. You know what I'm saying? I guess like my update is I think this week I finally like I'm getting my routine down, and I'm trying to juggle like my my personal assistant job and writing, like prioritizing writing, but not forcing myself to write. I never want to force myself to write, because if it's not fun, then like what the fuck am I doing this for? Like
Yeah.
bullshit. So yeah, but I've been writing a lot more and like acting on that like impulse. Like when I want to write, I write instead of like doing something else. And yeah, I had a bunch of sessions this week.
Hell yeah.
Worked with some new people. Yeah.
Okay, when you are writing, like when you go into a session and you're writing with somebody you haven't worked with,
Yeah.
like, are you like comfortable to like open up and bare your soul in your lyrics? Like, what is that like for you?
So like first it usually starts with just like meeting the other person, like where they are and like what their tea is. And like I guess like just for that session we were kind of all just talking about like drama going on in this damn music department, y'all. Like the graduates but anyways, it's just like seeing like people that you were friends with like make decisions that you don't agree with, but then like still wanting to keep them in your life or like be professional. So we were kind of like all in that like headspace a little bit. So that was like the seed that like sprouted the idea, I guess. And then once we get into that, we just like, it's like a therapy session. Like you just, yeah, a lot of like metaphors, a lot of tea,
Yeah.
a lot of
I think that's a great point of like, as artists, obviously you typically create a friendship with someone first and then start to work with them, and how to like balance that or navigate that relationship, because it's
Yeah.
a hybrid of both where
Right.
Yeah.
it's like I want to have fun and I want to like like I want to, obviously we can talk about more deep things or things that are bothering us. Like it's just there, that line is blurred, and I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's
Yeah.
also, it's part of the maturity, I think, of trying to like navigate those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was really fun, very fun, and yeah, new music soon.
New music.
Yes,
learning.
And and where can we find your music?
Oh, it is on every major streaming platform:
I know that's
Spotify, Apple
right.
Music,
Go stream.
Pandora,
Rivers,
YouTube,
go listen
Amazon.
Mhm.
What else? SoundCloud.
Amazon.
What else?
Amazon YouTube music
What's the one that Beyonce owns? Oh shoot,
title.
Tidal. That's actually the best one for artists. If you want to support artists, you should use Tidal. Spotify is the worst, and they do not support artists at all.
Speak
They
on
use
why.
AI.
Explain why, because I didn't understand why, and the reason why is actually very important.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is. It's like $0.0001 per streams. It's just all of the, you can like look it up. It's a long plethora, but they don't care about artists. A lot of these major streaming platforms don't, but Spotify is the worst.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What about you, Miss Girl?
me, my life is good. I had a really relaxing day today. Like my dog's on a little hour-long walk. My dogs are big and reactive, so it's nice when I get to take them outside because then they can breathe fresh air and not just sit inside all the time. And yeah, so that was nice. Watched the season 2 finale of Severance. And that was nice in the sense that I just love watching good art and good media because then it just is like I love watching things that people put so much time and effort to because then I just want to like ask them about it. I want to be like, what made, what, how, just like, you know, Ben Stiller, Ben Stiller, I forget the name of the other creator. I'm so sorry. His last name is like Erickson. Y'all ever have a Q&A? Yeah, Dan Erickson. Y'all ever have like a Q&A or something? I'm gonna come in with questions.
They had an LA event.
I know.
I'm like, how
did we miss that?
I don't know how we missed that at all.
How did we miss that?
Like not a one. Us three have been on that show.
Yes.
Dick. Not a one of us three knew that was happening. And then I saw the photos and I was like, I was really sad about it. And then I think I have to another major life update. I have to buy a car, which is not fun.
Oh no, why?
So the car that I drive is technically under my mother's name, the perks of being young and the youngest.
I'm going
in
through
the
the
family.
same thing right now.
It's crazy, but my mom's car got fucked up because a water main line, so like the pipes underneath the street that were for water, burst near her job, and it like
Fucked up her car.
it fucked up a lot of people's cars, including hers. Her car was already kind of fucked up to begin with, so when she took it to the people to like get fixed, they're like, it's gonna cost you more than like what your car's worth.
Hold on, and the city's not gonna.
The city is, but it's the city.
It's gonna take a long ass time.
Take, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the city. No offense to say Los Angeles, but most city governments have too much shit going on to care about what's going on in your immediate life. They'll get to it when they get to it, which is like she's filing claims and stuff. But essentially, she has to take my car, slash her car back, and she was like, "You're getting a car." So that's fun because I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford that. But.
Damn.
So I've been like hell on my finance shit. I downloaded Rocket Money. Not sponsored. It's actually been
Not
great.
sponsored.
This is not an ad.
Not an ad.
Not spawn, but it actually has been great because it's nice to see everything in one place and a app that has really great UI. So I feel like it's fun when I tap through it. Like I have a meeting with my financial advisor next week. And be like, girl, we're gonna have to switch some things around, friend. But essentially, yeah, that's honestly been my big life update. I've been on my big financial shit because also like that gym that I go to, I have to actually start paying for it now. Damn, that shit's expensive.
Boo.
But I want to look
Tomato,
good. Look, this summer I'm gonna look great.
Yep.
y'all.
You already look great.
Well, I mean, I look great, but like y'all seen Bad Bunny's fucking Calvin Klein photos. Like I gotta,
mommy, the mosquito.
I
Put it on the board.
put it on the board. Hey, put it back here. Look at that. Yeah. So I gotta look.
Like
The horses on his
I
pecs.
feel like I'm at a loss for
Roar.
words. Like, what do you mean?
No, everything
Jeremy
about that
Allen
shoot
White.
was so.
Put his up there too. Put Jeremy's up.
Not Jeremy's.
All right.
Yo, his is the
All
best.
right,
His
y'all.
is
Jeremy
fire.
Allen White.
His is the best.
His is so
I don't know
good.
if
Yo, his
I-
is so good.
Wait,
yo. His is so
the
good.
one where
he's-
you want to see it?
No.
Yo, there's one photo
No,
where
you know
he's
him like
eating.
that.
Wait,
Wait,
the
is
one
it
where
like-
he's like on a
do I, like,
couch
see a,
on
like,
top of a
bulge?
ceiling or top of a building.
No, he's
Oh,
just was
I
like
don't wanna
holding his
see
shit.
it.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I mean,
Jeremy's holding. Wait,
Beautiful.
I just like
he
have to
looks
see.
great.
Not his like.
he's not holding his.
Wait, now I'm
holding his underwear.
Wait, now I'm
like he's
like-
holding underwear.
No,
Wait.
like y'all.
but
if
it's
you,
great.
When
You know
did
what I'm
he
talking
do
about?
this?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because it was like everyone was like, "Oh my god, Jeremy Allen White's so hot." I just think he seems like a great
Oh,
guy.
okay,
I think he's
like a
so
great
fine. Go back. Go back.
okay.
Who's this?
Oh,
That one.
That
Oh,
one.
he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's
May
doing.
I
And it
see,
works.
please?
And it works.
Jeremy.
And it works.
Yeah, okay.
I have a question.
I love that photo.
He
I'm
looks
sorry,
so
guys.
great.
I liked it more than Bad Bunny.
I love that for you. Yeah.
Are y'all
Yes.
attracted to men's asses? Is that like a thing that like you see it and you're like, yes?
I
It
am.
depends.
would
You
say
have
yes.
to have a nice
Yeah,
I would
you
say
have to
yes.
have like a nice
because
ass.
I feel like man butts can like lay weirdly.
Guys, one time
I hate a football player ass.
I
one
love
time I
football
dated
player
a
ass.
man who had a bigger ass than me.
Bubble butt.
like boom.
Yo.
Like it was a
That's like-
lot going on
you know
back
who
there.
Like that's
And
why,
it like
I'm not attracted.
I wasn't attracted to that part, but like I like a good like like you're fit and like your
Yeah.
ass like, but like he like had a bubble butt and it was like poking out like I don't.
Fuck it out.
And he was so insecure about it. One time, the first time that I brought him to my friend's house to meet all my friends, like for a 4th of July birthday party, not birthday party, 4th of July celebration. Happy birthday to America, I guess. But I told my friends because I knew they were going to say some shit about it. I was like,
About his ass?
yes. I was like, don't say anything about his
It was that
ass.
big?
It was that like
Oh my
bubble
god!
I love a bubble butt.
And you know what they
He
did?
needs to be able to pull it off though. Like the aura needs to be able to pull it off.
You know what
True.
they did though?
True.
What?
Practically the second they met him, they were one of my friends was like, so you got a lot going on back there.
Wait, then maybe he had a really big butt. Maybe
Your
he had a
friend's
big,
fucked up
like
for
he
real.
really did have a big butt. If like everybody was talking about this
No,
shit
he
and
really-
he was insecure.
Wait, I like want to see
My
it.
God, like,
that's
does he
like-
have the
that's
ass?
like when a man has hips.
No,
does
dude,
he have hips too? Because
Men don't have hips.
But like sometimes if a man has hips, then he got you know what I'm talking about.
No, I know
like,
what you
did
mean.
he
Yeah.
have hips? Like,
not that I no, he was pretty like built. Like he was. It was just like his ass was.
can I
just,
get race? Can I
Yeah.
get race?
he was
or
white. He's Italian.
Ooh, it's always an Italian.
Really?
Yes.
Like where in Italy? Do you know? Was
No,
he
like
Sicilian? Or
no,
was he, like-
no, not like had any connection to his Italian roots. He's from
No,
Ohio.
yeah. I just want to know like if he was
Ohio.
like Sicilian, because if he was Sicilian, then that can make more sense.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's
This
fair.
was like many years ago, at
No,
least
that's-
5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Said I don't know.
And I don't have any more. I don't have pictures because after we broke up, he deleted everything off of social media,
including the butt.
moved to like Montana and like started living in the woods. Yeah.
Oh,
Montana.
Sterling, what did you do to that?
Yeah,
He broke up with
Sterling.
me for the record.
Oh.
I don't know.
But you that's crazy.
Yeah.
On the topic of man butts, if you ever want to see a nice man butt, just watch a baseball game.
True.
I was
True.
literally that's
Watch a
why-
baseball
yep,
game. Watch
yep,
a men's volleyball game.
Yep.
Those are man
yep.
butts. I can
No,
get
I
behind.
think baseball like takes the cake.
y'all
literally.
know, okay, I kind of
Takes the cake is crazy.
I kind of want to bleep this
Literally.
in the case I ever in the same circles. But y'all know who Kike Hernandez is?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
Who's
Yes,
that?
God.
Kike Hernandez is
that?
a Dodger player, and oh my,
We should go to a Dodgers game this summer.
I'd be so down on the baseball games.
Season's right now.
I don't watch them. I walk around the
Oh,
stadium.
really?
Get-
Oh.
But so they're starting like their first game, home game. I think is next week.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we
god, hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture of his butt.
I think we would have fun at a Dodgers game.
I love going to Dodgers games. Okay, I gotta do some research.
Okay.
Continue the
Okay.
conversation.
So while she's looking for that picture, we're going to talk about some fun things. And that fun thing being how we all got to this lovely, lovely couch, which is how we all got to LA.
Los Angeles.
And for the most part, I would say like it's kind of split 7. I don't know how to do math, but it's kind of split down the middle as like, me, Cammie, and Sav all moved here, and Sierra and Sterling are from here. So we were going to talk about how, why, we're still in LA and, what brought our hearts and our minds and our artistry still to this city, and just talking about being an artist in LA, especially right now. Because I think for all of our disciplinaries, like it differs and it I think it's ever changing. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're gonna deep dive into this podcast, is just like what brought us to this city, and would we ever, expand our wings and leave, or would we stay longer, or what's our future plans if we're even thinking that far ahead.
I would love to hear from those who aren't from LA first, and then maybe me and Ciara can.
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Do you want to start?
I don't know. Either way, right?
Do you want me to prompt a question?
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up. No, you.
Okay, I'll go.
You.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Number one in education. Number one. I'm kidding. Anyways, I love Boston. She just like doesn't have what I need for my career. So I moved out here like 4 years ago. I kind of always I've always known that I wanted to move out here or New York, but I've always felt called out here. I think like when I first moved out here, it was a really, really tough adjustment. Like I feel like people don't really talk about that enough. Like moving from home to a completely different city, especially when it's like across the country and not just like driving distance. Like it's a big, like almost like culture shock too, because this was like immediately after COVID. So that was really, I definitely was like, did I make the right decision? But I did, and I like being out here. I think I've been given a lot of opportunities out here. I've made a bunch of great friends out here. I think like for leaving LA, I definitely don't feel tied down here. I do think that this is a great place for me to be, but I think I'm gonna give myself like another like 2-3 years, see how I'm feeling, and if it's still giving, then I'll stay, and if it's not, then bye. You know
See
what
where
I'm
the
saying?
wind takes you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like but like love LA. I think it's just definitely different from the East Coast. The people, the vibes, the water.
The water for real.
The water, the weather. Like there's not really fall here. Love autumn. There's no autumn here. Really.
Yeah, autumn for like a week.
Yeah, that's not no damn. That's not no autumn. We need like the leaves falling and shit. And, like,
What did you expect LA to be like versus what have you accepted it to be now?
I think that like, you know, everyone's like LA is filled with fake people and this and that and blah blah blah, and I think it's really just who you surround yourself with, because like obviously there's gonna be fake people anywhere you go, but I think I've found like great people out here and like great collaborators, great friends that I've just like that I've aligned with. But I think just like people do move differently out here. Like I've never been told until I moved out here like how straight up I am, just because everyone I'm around is like this. Like if anything, like I'm more tame than like my sister, and that's like crazy because like ooh, my bad.
I feel like Diana. The very first
Literally, because I'm like, no, like just like yeah, like I think yeah, just the approaches are different out here. People out here are really scared about hurting your feelings, like so scared, and it's like, girl, our feelings are always going to be hurt no matter what, even if you
to
didn't
your
mean to.
face though, but they'll say it behind your back.
Right. Like they don't, like they don't want to hurt your feelings to your face, but then they'll talk shit. Not everyone, but like
I feel like that's more of the culture.
yeah. It's like, no, just say like, no, girl, that's weird. Weird things exist, and it's okay to acknowledge it.
Right.
The mini, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I think that's probably the biggest difference. Like Bostonians are like assholes and like rude. Like we just like are. And
I also think like one of the first things I recognized about you when we were working together was that like you lead with a lot of integrity, and I feel like that is not just a Boston thing, but just like who you are intrinsically.
thank you.
But yeah, I take your example basically with when it comes to those sorts of things, because it's really liberating to be able to be like straight up with someone about how you feel, or like how you feel or what you want to do, like truly, instead of, and I think that's probably like a little bit of my California upbringing, like coming in and making me not want to like hurt anyone else's feelings, you know, those sorts of things. So it's nice.
Yeah. I think like also recognizing that like now is the time for us to be selfish. Like we don't really like this is literally the time for us to be selfish and like think about ourselves. You know what I mean? Like don't think about that man. Like what is he doing? Stressing you out. Amen.
Fuck that.
Anyways.
That woman last night when I apologized to that man and she goes,
never apologize to him.
Right.
My sister actually, like the one that I was like just laughing about a couple minutes ago, but she was like, never move out of a man's way at a club. Like never, like, and I'm like, yeah, like period. Like I don't, So I feel like just like things like that too that have been instilled in me. Just, or like.
Do you feel like that helps or hinders you as you navigate LA?
I think it helps because I think the right people like align with me. Like I feel like I don't really deal, like I can tell when someone's fake or when something's a bit like so easily. And I think maybe that's like part of the reason why, because I don't know. I definitely have dealt with crazy people out here, but not as many as I thought or was like instilled in me when I said I was gonna move out here. And that's my tea.
What about you, Cam? What's your backstory?
My LA backstory. I did not want to move here when I first.
Really?
Yeah, originally, which is crazy.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Ideally, when I was applying to schools, because I knew I didn't want to stay in Utah. Like my whole thing was I did not want to stay in Utah because if you're going to school for acting in general, like we know, like you go to school for acting for more of the connections than you really are going for the training. You're going to get a similar training. And of course, it's going to vary at acting schools, like if something's going to be better or not. But you're really going to acting school for the connections and the places it can potentially put you in. And then like the cherry on top is the fact that you get training. I feel like that's like my metaphor. But I knew I didn't want to stay in Utah because there were no connections that I needed to make in Utah that I hadn't already made that weren't like, you know what I mean? Like Utah's small. There was nothing new for me. So I originally wanted to be in New York City. I was hoping I could leave my car to my little brother so he'd have a car in high school, and then I would be in New York City. But it worked out so much better that I came to LA. So happy that
you almost went to Boston.
Yeah, almost went to Boston, which is crazy because you almost studied in Boston, would have stayed home, and like we would have been like we would have met each other.
Yeah,
we would have studied at the same school in Boston.
Yeah, literally. That's so crazy.
Yeah, we got the fact that we got accepted into both of the same schools and then chose the same school. Crazy.
And both chose places that we didn't think.
Yeah. Wow.
The universe.
Crazy.
I feel like having come from Utah, it probably wasn't as big of a culture shift.
Yeah. It really hasn't been. And it will. Okay, let me phrase that correctly. Like there's things that are very similar and then things that are drastically different.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, like I feel like Utah culturally wise is very similar to LA. Like they are both, like Utah is I say this to you guys all the time. I feel like that Utah is a West Coast city, just like 5 or 10 years behind. Like, like that's the vibe Utah gives. And then of course add in Mormonisms, but that's a whole other thing. Yes, or swig. Are you talking about swig?
Oh, no, I said
Shout out swig. Shout out fizz. The real fizz bitches come to the front. Yeah, we're not talking about swig. We're talking about fizz. Right. Right. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
Thank you. But yeah, Utah's very similar to LA. I think the things that are different, the biggest thing that is different to me is just the amount of wealth in LA. Like people act very similar. The way they move is kind of different. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the way they present themselves is the same, but then I feel like people move a little differently out here in terms of like how they actually take care of each other in like community spaces. I don't know if that
No, that makes
Yeah?
sense.
No, that
Okay.
checks out.
Yeah, but also that's because I think Utah has like the underlining of Mormonism, so it's very heavily based in community in Utah, and you see that in non-Mormons and Mormons. But the wealth shock, the culture shock with wealth is what hit me when I moved out here, and seeing like, oh, this is what I thought was wealth. No.
And it's so divided. It like one street you'll be like in front of like mansions, and then the next block over it's like a tent city.
Yes,
Like it's just this
The
amalgamation
wealth
of-
gap is very tangible in LA.
Yeah.
Like it's
Very
something that you
tangible.
can see,
Yeah,
feel,
that's,
hear,
I
and
forgot
touch.
to. Yeah, that's
Interact
a great point.
with.
Do you guys
Great
have
way
like
to
a lot of like unhoused people in Utah?
We actually do, but they
Yeah?
all are in one area. They are all in one area, but we have a very like big homelessness problem in Utah, and it's not helping that after COVID prices have been rising in Utah, and Utah's like one of the most expensive cities, or Salt Lake City is one of the most expensive cities to live in now. And it's just
Really?
because of people moving from the West Coast to Utah.
Yeah.
So Utah's like
Whoa.
the same price as living in LA kind of
That's
right now.
crazy.
That's like kind of what's happening
Yeah.
to Columbus. Like
Really?
like city of Columbus is like
I
it's
believe
crazy.
it.
I feel like during COVID and after COVID was I mean, maybe it was just when I was paying it more attention as an adult, but I noticed more people in my surroundings saying like, yeah, I'm up and moving to Utah, or up and
Yeah.
moving to Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
Shit's
of
too
people are moving
expensive
to
here.
Texas.
Texas.
A lot of people
Yes.
are stopping
Colorado.
moving to
People
Texas
would like
because
pay me to move there.
Texas is becoming too expensive. The only reason why people are going to Texas because it was so cheap, and now it's like
Oh,
similar
is it?
prices.
Oh, I thought
when-
people are still trying to move there, and like
Rich
Georgia.
people.
for rich people are because they don't get taxed out there.
Yeah,
That's why they're trying to move
fair.
Texas.
I forgot
Georgia
to say
could be
about
fun.
unhoused people. Boston actually doesn't have any unhoused people on the street.
Okay,
Really?
flex.
Sorry. Yeah, it's actually
Right. Come on.
Yeah, we got all of our,
Yes.
we got all of our homeless people off the streets, and they're all in like rehabilitation.
Wait, that's
So it's possible.
Yes, it is.
Wow,
Yes,
crazy.
it is. I always tell people,
Wow.
like, sorry,
No,
not to
you're
like go
good.
back,
No.
but like I always tell people that like Boston's like a smaller, like cleaner version of New York. Like,
I could see living in Boston.
yeah, like it's like the same food, like because we have the Italians.
Would you raise a family in Boston again?
Oh yeah, like totally. Like if I like not if when I like make it big and I have my
Amen.
like I love to have my property in Boston. Like I
property.
feel like, yeah, like
Yeah,
you
don't
know
you
what
want to
I'm
be a
saying?
coast to coast girly?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's kind of
One
like
house
always
in Boston.
been my goal. Like I
one house in the
really,
West Coast.
I feel like they're so different too that you can't even compare them. Like East Coast and West Coast.
Mm,
Like,
do you
oh,
prefer-
for sure.
do you feel like Utah and LA or Salt Lake and LA like have like the same like threshold of like qualities to even be like compared? Does that make sense?
Okay,
like I don't
for
think
me-
Boston and LA do. I feel like they're so different.
I think like normies might maybe, but for me, no.
Okay.
For me, like they're so completely different.
Uh,
But maybe if you're like a mechanic, you might experience the same quality of life and the same specifics. Just one, it would probably be cheaper in Utah.
do you ever think that like a different version of yourself like would stay in Utah?
I don't know. I don't think there's any version of me that like would still like that would lifelong, like maybe if there was a version of me that got married in Utah at the age of 20.
Like if you hadn't been an
Insane,
artist.
insane.
Yeah.
But then I think I would have like been depressed and like
Oh,
had a
yeah.
horrible divorce.
Like you don't think that it would have
you don't think
Not
there's
a
a version of you that would have been like
horrible
super happy and so
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I think I would have always, whether it was at 22 or at 42, I would have always
Real.
made it out.
I'm into it.
Made it the fuck out.
Real.
One thing about her, she made out the mud for real.
And by the mud, I mean the quiet suburban streets of Utah.
Quiet suburban
Of
The quiet
Midvalley,
suburbia
Utah.
of Salt Lake City.
I always say like in a different life, I think I'm like still in Boston.
Yeah?
Really?
I could
Yeah.
see you being in Boston though.
Yeah,
That makes
right.
sense.
It's just the career. Like sometimes I'm like, damn, like I'm a fucking musician. I can't stay.
Oh yeah, feeling
Like-
feeling chained to this city too is like also one of the reasons why I kind of tried to diversify what I can do outside of film, because I realized like, hey, I don't want to have to live in LA to make my money.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That's real.
I would really like to be able to pick up and go and like make it work
Overseas.
wherever.
Yeah.
Bella, do you want to go?
Oh,
Since
yes.
we're doing-
I was looking at the questions because I was going to prompt another question, but then I forgot that I hadn't spoken.
Yes.
I guess for me, because I originally moved from, IO. I originally moved from Ohio to New York, and then COVID hit, and it was like the perfect excuse for me to get out of New York because New York just wasn't for me. I think the city life of just like being so in such a condensed city was just too much for me. And like all my friends like loved it, and I like went into the city, and I was like, I just didn't feel that, and I like felt this sense of like wanting to go home. And for me, like that was really troubling because like I didn't love Ohio, and peace and love to Ohio. I don't love it there, and I never really did feel like I belonged there, like that was like my place. So the fact that like when I went to New York, I was like wanting to go home and like didn't want to go back to New York after break, I like was like troubled by that. I was like, Mom, like I don't really want to go back to New York. And my mom was like, that's okay, like you're still adjusting. And I was like, yeah, but like that's not like, this isn't how I'm supposed to feel. Like I'm supposed to want to be going back to like college, and like I didn't feel that. And so when I eventually transferred out to Cal Arts and I moved out to California, like I instantly loved it here, like just instantly. Like and I moved out here and knew one person, and it was a family friend who lived in Inglewood. And I call her my cousin because like she's known me since like she was in like literally in my mother's womb. And so like she was the only person I knew out here. And even then, like I did not know anybody at Cal Arts, and like completely moved out here knowing nobody. And even still, like I loved it. And like through every like major ups and downs of like meeting new friends and like having to meet new people, like I wouldn't change it, because like there was like this like overwhelming sense of like I just knew I had to like when I would go home for the holidays, I was like, oh my God, I have to go back. Like the day that I would get into Columbus, like that night I would be like, I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. And that's how I knew, because like I didn't feel that way when I was in New York. And like I think the longer I've been here, the longer I've kind of like started to like find my niches. The reason I love LA is because LA is a lot bigger than like people like put it out to be, is like because you can be in different parts and it's like still considered like LA, even though like I think LA locals will be like, well, that's not really LA. But like in my brain, I'm like, well, like I can be here and it's LA, or here it's LA, or here. And it really is just like a melting pot, but in a different way than New York is. Whereas like when I was in New York, I felt so confined to this, just like looking up and seeing just like buildings and smoke and people, and that I was just like, I felt so claustrophobic. And I never saw the sun when I was in New York ever, because like of where my building was, and I was on the 4th floor, and like it would get dark at 4, and I was like so depressed. And that's just personal to me. Everyone's different. My best friend Jack, my best friend, he loves it there. He loves it and he thrives there, and that's his city. And there's elements of New York that like I miss. I miss public transit. I miss not having that.
Can I sorry.
Oh no, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say, I think like what you're saying too is like kind of also what I mean when I say that they're so different.
They're so
that you can't even
you
compare
can't.
them. Like you're either like a LA person or like a West Coast or East Coast.
Yeah.
Or you can like both. Like coastal.
For sure.
But it's like I don't think that
I love
it's not
them
like
for
an insult if someone's like doesn't like LA. It's like you're just not.
And I love them for different reasons. And I think like thinking about go ahead. You had
I was just going to make it more general, I guess, asking a question as far as like what advice would you give someone from the Midwest perhaps looking to move to LA?
I would say in terms of like someone from the Midwest moving to LA, like you're going to have the expectation of it being something as to like this like big broad, you know, like seeing celebrities everywhere, it being this like big show town, like you're gonna have this expectation. And I think as someone from like as what you see on TV, like lower your expectations a bit. It's kind of just LA is just, it really is just like a city. It really just is like any other city. And also like the thing that I've learned the most about LA coming from the Midwest is that people will take advantage of your kindness and will take advantage of you being just a good person and a kind person and twist it into they're using it for their own advantages.
Yeah.
So like when you're making new friends, when you're making your community, like kind of like building off of what like you both said, like you can find your real community out here, but like seek out the people who are like wanting to like be with you for the right reasons. And
yeah, I will say like I think maybe this is the truth of like any big city.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
unique to LA.
I don't. Yeah, but I will say like LA does breed a certain type of person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've always said that people who come from LA are typically big fish in the small ponds of whatever town that they lived in. And they come here, these big personalities come here thinking that they're like the shit and they're going to be the next like visionary in whatever field that they're going to be in. And they're very, very driven, and that's I think so inspiring, and they have all these great qualities, but it also kind of like it has a positive and a negative effect. I feel like a lot of times as locals we kind of like focus on the negative of being of those types of people being like, you know, fake and just like industry climbers and things like that. But I also think that they're also like incredibly inspiring and have all this like energy and creativity, and you know, who knows, they might actually be the next innovators in whatever they want to do.
LA has a lot of drive.
Yes.
Workers, like people, like I feel like in LA too, it feels like everyone like has 10 jobs but is also like not working.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Right? Like it's like
Yes.
I feel like that's something that's unique to LA, and also just like the like there's so many immigrants here, or I mean they're not even immigrants. Like I'm just like just like the Mexican population here like really like holds this city.
Was that I kind of have a question and like to build off that, but like I would love to know what you guys thought LA was gonna be like, and in that sense, like did you know that the Mexican population was like a really big? I mean, you had family out here, so I'm assuming you had a bit more knowledge. But like, I feel like that's not something that's like that's something I'm seeing more in the media nowadays than I have my entire life living here. It's been something I've like obviously I've known living here, but like in terms of like even like Kendrick's last album, his LA album has so many like Mexican influences through it, or a lot of shows that are based in LA now showcase a lot of Mexican heritage because it is like so integral into everything that in the city. But like I feel like growing up that wasn't a big thing, so just like
like
curious, like curious if that was something you guys knew, or like just in general, like what did you expect, what did you think when you came here, like what this is what it's gonna be, and like get like specific, like like what did you think, and then when you came here was it like
I think I always like knew that there was a large like Mexican diaspora here. I don't even know if diaspora is the right word. Like I don't know how to like refer to stolen lands that like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like this isn't, we're the diaspora, they're the diaspora white people. Like I just, but yeah, I think I always knew that there would be like a large population. But then like being in Santa Clarita, I feel like it was just not really like I didn't really see it that much, like being so like Cal Arts. So I don't know. I guess.
Well, Santa Clarita is kind of a unique one because like yes, there is a large Mexican population here, but it's also like one of those white flight cities.
Yeah, it's a white
flight
city.
So there's a large like Republican element going on. So even there is even a percentage of the like Hispanic population here specifically that's like weirdly like right wing leaning, which as someone who's Mexican, I don't claim those people.
She said, "Not mi gente."
Yeah,
Mi gente Latino.
but I guess the visual that comes to mind is like going back to the LA topic of like a little bit of disillusionment, like you were saying, is the Sunset Strip. Whenever you go down there, I see so many tourists from all over the place walking around like sweaty and like just hot and like just tired, and they're walking around like getting pictures with like Elmo and like some dude dressed up like Wolverine.
That is a scary. That's like one of my biggest. No.
And I have
like
to
Venice
imagine,
Beach.
yeah, like
It's
I
like
have
Times
to
Square.
imagine like what these people are thinking, because they've saved up for their big trip to LA to come see the stars, see the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and they get here and there's someone taking a shit in front of them.
It's disgusting.
That was a big disillusion for me when I came here when I was like 12 with my mom.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that that's like another like thing unique to LA? Because I feel like I felt that with other cities. Like, oh, I'm here now.
So-
No, that's how.
like New York.
Sorry,
too.
but
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
I can't do the characters in New York, like the people that dress
Oh,
up.
that
The
yeah.
the Grinch during Christmas time in New York,
I'm kidding.
there's like 7 of them, and they stand on every fucking corner.
That's not the Grinch, it's the Grange.
it's the grunge.
It's or like the Minnie Mouses that don't look, and they like take off their helmet. They take off their like.
smoke break.
I can't.
I'm like, get your
That's
money.
like
Do what you
when
gotta-
when I lived in Paris, I remember I had so many people being like, "It's not what you think it is. It's blah blah blah." And when I went there, I think I had I don't know. I spent a lot of time down in the city, like because where we live, or at least where I live, like in LA is LA, and then the Valley, and then Santa Clarita is like right outside the Valley, and so you can spend your entire life within Santa Clarita and the Valley and like never have to really go to LA. Vice versa, you don't ever have to come up here. But spent a lot of time in the city, so by the time when I went to Paris, I was like, well, I've walked around in downtown, therefore I can't get any dirtier than that because downtown's disgusting.
Sometimes
But
Echo Park rivals it.
Echo Park
with
is
human shit.
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
Echo-
ooh, Echo.
Echo. Sorry,
This is one of my favorite fucking photos.
I need money for weed.
With the signs upside down.
Last time I was in
yeah.
New York, a homeless man like asked me for my drink. He was like, what drink is that? And I was like, oh, it's a caramel latte. And he was like, oh, can I have it? And I was like, no. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. But like, yeah, very much. I don't think that's something, the disillusionment, I don't think that's something specific to LA. But I always am like curious because I do think things like Starstruck like make it seem like, first of all, you can like go from Beverly Hills to downtown in like 10 minutes and like it's not a big deal at all. Or like you can
I'm
like,
almost seeing like parallels between like Hollywood and like Bollywood. Like
Yeah.
if you go to India and you see like the Taj Mahal, but then
and
like,
then
there's-
all that one picture of the Taj Mahal, and then like right across like,
yeah,
on the other side of the wall is like all of the
yeah.
shots.
I will say another thing is specific. This is very specifically to like Midwest or even East Coast, like or even Utah, I would say too. I mean, I don't know what traffic is like in Utah in terms of like commuting, but specifically for me, like where I grew up, it took like 20, it takes, and I say this all the time, but it takes like 20 minutes to get to the grocery store, to get to like the mall. So like commuting has always been like a thing for me. Like it takes 20 minutes to get anywhere. And here in LA, for most locals, like if it takes upwards to like more than 5 minutes to get somewhere, most LA locals are like, I'm not going.
I think I've experienced the opposite.
Really?
Because they're used to driving far everywhere. Like
Really?
a 45-minute drive is
I
like
think
a
it
20
depends
minute
on
drive
who
to
you're
them.
talking to, because like I had friends in college who were from like Westchester, Inglewood, and like they weren't really big on commute. But it's also like if you live in LA, like you don't have to commute that far. Versus if you know somebody like me from the Valley, from Santa Clarita, girl, to do anything fun, you have to drive to LA. Therefore, that commute doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, therefore, I'm like, I'll spend 45 minutes in a car because I gotta go to LA
Yeah.
and do something fun.
Yeah,
used to-
that's
My friend
fair.
from West
Yeah.
Adams was like that too. She'd be like, hey, I'm on my way. It's 2 hours. And I'm like, girl, you don't have to come. She's like, no, I'm in the car. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Hours.
but like I think
it's probably person to person. That's
Yeah.
probably
I
fair.
also think it's also very much city too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, city
people in
living.
Inglewood stay in Inglewood. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing that like was the thing that disillusioned me about LA is LA is segregated as fuck.
Yeah.
That I wasn't
Yeah.
prepared for.
Yeah, it is.
I
It's
thought
really
it was way
segregated.
more like,
Community.
hey, I was gonna see people. I was gonna see
Yeah.
people around the store. You know what I mean? And I don't.
Oh yeah, I feel like I hear that a lot from people like who have never or who didn't grow up in LA or even Southern California. Like we don't know who our neighbors are. We don't say hello to people. We aren't open to like making new friends just randomly. Like there's always this like sheen of like either I'm too important or I don't trust you, don't fuck with me, you want something from me. And I think I've worked to try to like not unpack it, but like to I'm losing my words, but take it apart,
Unlearn
essentially.
it. Yeah.
Unlearn it. That's the word that I'm looking for. Generally,
Yeah, I also feel like there's a lot of like this like I don't know, like I feel like that also comes from like first of all it's like a class. I think part of the class thing because there's like a lot of the rich people here don't talk to people because they're like, well, I'm rich and you're not, therefore I don't want to speak to you because it's like the wealth gap here is like very very big. But I know for like a lot of like my native local people that I know, they're always wary of what we call transplants, which is we have 3 examples sitting on this couch.
Bow.
And it's very I know part of it
I also like hate that it's transplant. Like, why can't I just like move to a city and
no
like, just, like,
yeah
be-
and
You know,
like
you know what
yeah
I mean?
no I agree that it's like
Anyways.
negative. I think
Yeah.
part of it comes from there are certain people that like the natives and locals that I talk to, their thing is like obviously there are people that move here and are chill and cool and like you guys are great, like transplant is such a generalization, but there are people that move here and it's like kind of similar to what Sterling was saying, like really big fish in a small pond and move here. There are some people that move here and they don't really have a genuine like want to or respect for what LA is and for the people that do have lived here their whole life and the people that have built that city. So that's also kind of where that I think that like segregation and disconnect between people come from, because there's a lot of people that move here and think like this is my shit now, like LA, what's up, this is my city, yeah. And it's like, but they don't take time to like talk to anybody that's actually from here or like take time to pour into any of the communities here. And then the communities that have been here for generations often get left behind because the city caters to people that move here because you guys are such big personalities, you are so driven, you are so and typically and you make a lot of the money and you come with a lot of money, or you make a lot of the money for the city. So a lot of the people that have been here for generations tend to get left behind. So that's also where they're like that disconnect of like people aren't gonna smile at you, people aren't, because they like don't really want to and it's like that, it's not great, but like, it's like another perspective too.
I feel like a lot of what we're saying about LA, like it's just, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, it's so just a product of capitalism. Everything comes back to this, because like every city deals with these same problems that we're talking about, just in different facets. And also I feel like there's just so much duality in every take we're having.
Like, everything is nuanced, like, for sure.
It just is interesting. And like there's people that aren't like that in LA, and then there's people that are like this in LA, and there's just everything is here. I think that's the overarching thing of LA, is as much bad as there is too, there's so much good. And there's just, but it's so much of everything is in this one small area. Which is crazy.
They don't have good Italian food here, and that is my take though.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I guess you like East Coast and Boston
like,
specifically,
I'm so
like
sorry.
that
New
was
York has great.
that
But
was
you want to
the
know,
hub.
you eat down on the Mexican food, okay?
Oh,
like
yeah.
period.
But like that,
point blank.
that makes sense when you think about migration. Like the hub of Italian migration is
and
all
you know
on
what
the
I'm
East
saying?
Coast.
They
The hub
just
Mexican
don't have
migration is here.
the demographic here to achieve. To achieve.
To succeed.
But keep the Italians on the East Coast. They don't need to come over here.
I mean, shoot, if they just want to like open a little 1-2 out here, like I'll go every day.
Especially the New York Italians.
I feel like there's like not a lot of good cheap Italian food. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've had some good expensive.
Yes.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh my
but then
gosh.
it's like I'm not gonna go there all the time. Like I can't fucking
And that's an
spend
entirely-
$34 on a scoop of pasta.
That's
A scoop.
Shit's not even al dente. Like, don't piss me off.
that's another thing is like if we want to get into the topic of like food in LA, like dining in LA, I think it is a little bit different than some other places. I think like my take on it is that we're not concerned about how the food tastes just because these like model Instagram actresses, like we're not
like, don't
focused
eat it.
on eating it.
We're
focused on
photos
being
of
seen
it.
there.
Yeah.
Have you guys? Oh my god, I don't want to like put this place on like blast, but it's called Yamashiro.
Yeah.
You heard of it?
Yeah.
It literally, and it's like so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
The food.
I was almost a bartender there.
The food is like probably the worst food I've ever had in my life.
For
Like,
real,
I
yes.
could have better food at 7-Eleven.
Yes.
Where is Yamashiro?
But it's because it's an
Hollywood.
institution.
Been
It's
there.
like it's been there for like
Oh.
upwards of 100 years.
It's so
Yamashiro.
beautiful. Like
Yeah.
you feel like you've been transported to Japan.
Yeah.
And there's like a hookah lounge. And I was like, oh, period. Let me go here for my birthday.
Yeah.
It's
It's for people who like want to go to like this iconic like LA restaurant
yeah.
to be seen, to take photos, to do all that. You're not typically not concerned about what the food tastes like.
Yeah.
Like,
So I
Yeah.
do feel like you can get really good food in LA, but typically if you're going to these like trendy, bougie kind of restaurants, you don't expect to eat that much.
Yeah, like honestly, some of the best food in LA is the places that kind of look like it's gonna give you food.
oh, yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
you know, you made a good point yesterday when we were walking around. We were walking,
Like we were
getting
walking around
coffee,
East Hollywood.
and Sav made a great point, being like the restaurants that don't have the great customer service often have great food.
Oh, that's
And-
real for like what's the word? Ethnic food.
Yeah, literally.
Ethnic
That's what
food.
No, literally, that was her point.
I was like, if they're rude to you, then the food's fire.
Yeah.
Like, you go, oh my God.
That makes me want Ethiopian food.
Yeah,
Bro.
right. She was such a bitch. Oh my God. She was, what do you want?
Yeah.
And was
That's
it fire?
literally how
Yeah.
it is. What do you want? And like they almost make you feel like you're inconveniencing them. I'm like, I feel like I'm at a family reunion. Like, auntie.
I'm just hungry. Please
I
give
want to
me
know
food.
like what is everybody's favorite things about LA.
Oh, that's a great question.
Like, I want to hear the good about what people like about
Yes. Do you want to start?
You want to?
LA. Sure.
I'm like, I have to think.
Wait, I know, me too.
I love the turn up that's out here.
Oh,
I really
Period.
do. I really do. As a girly that likes to go out, I love going out. I love
There's
it.
a good, yeah.
I will say it's hard to find when I tap into the right circles, then like I enjoy it. But there's a certain circle that like you have to tap into for your vibe. And also I think that just fluctuates. Like my first year of living here was different from the vibe that I like now. So, and I feel like I'm starting to tap in now to the other vibe I like. Okay. But I really, even though this like I think the club and going out scene is like kind of failing in LA right now.
It is.
I do love that the amount of like things you can get into in LA. Like I love that feeling of running around a city.
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say for myself, 2 words come to mind is culture and opportunity. Culture, one, just being like some of the fondest memories I have growing up is going to like museums and music events. It really set me onto the path that I am on now. So those things feel very like, just like very warm and safe for me. And then opportunity in the sense that like you can, if you're comfortable and outgoing enough, you can integrate yourself into communities that will give you opportunities, like you don't have to necessarily go the traditional route. And I feel like I feel more comfortable going the non-traditional route to get my opportunities. And I think LA is really, really full of a lot of those things.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of all my friends in high school were all first generation, so they all have very traditional like views. I mean, like just like out like in terms of like the trajectory of their life, like I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna do and like they're not really like willing to think out of the box a lot of the time. And I was always like the crazy friend that would be like, but what if you just did what you wanted to do?
Crazy.
Have you considered it?
Literally, I'm like,
out
wait,
of the box thinking?
yeah, I'm like, what if
I'm
you like
trying.
thought something that your mom didn't agree with, and that's okay? Like,
What
what
if?
about like what if that were an option? Like, I would like
Yeah.
plant those seeds, and it was
Defiance.
always love them. That's just like how they are, and like obviously like they've opened their minds to some things, but it's like still like you know, just first generation shit. I'm not even, but I think being out here, it's so much easier to take the non-traditional route and to like say crazy shit. Not like crazy, but just like, what if I did this? What if I start doing this? Like, it's not like wild to start a new hobby like right now.
Yeah, like you hear the wildest shit that people do for like their living here.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm a sound bath healer, but specifically for parakeets.
Right.
And they're making
yes,
more
they
money
are.
than me.
And
Yeah,
that's something to do.
And I know you're
Yeah.
good at it
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Sing that parakeet
Like,
sleep.
Yeah, I get
Like,
to like
suboptimal. I have to bring it back. I'm still thinking about that word. Suboptimal.
But yeah,
What about you?
though it's like to just build on that, I feel like LA is a great place. It's gonna sound weird, but I think LA is such a great place to fail. Because
The communal.
Well, because like even for me, like I like when I talk about living I live in LA, like I live at home. Like I literally live at home. I live with my mother and my siblings. And like in the traditional sense of like what my post-grad journey has been, it has been like not ideal and like kind of failure. But like I know that I am inherently so blessed that to go home means to go home to North Hollywood, and like I can do things like shit like this that like if I were to move home and I was moving home to, I don't know, fucking Idaho, like
Podunk, Ohio.
like what would I be getting up to?
Not
you
Idaho.
know,
some mashed potatoes maybe.
Hey, actually,
Arkansas.
I've been to Idaho and I actually liked it. Y'all were chill.
Arkansas.
Y'all were chill. But like
y'all were chill.
no, you were for real.
Did you get some potatoes?
I did.
Were they fire?
And they were fire.
Were they mashed well?
It was a baked potato.
Oh, okay.
It was like a homemade meal that my friend's grandmother made.
Okay, word.
And she ate down.
Oh,
But no, yeah, I just think it's like I think LA, if you have the spirit for it, because I think LA also sometimes it reminds me of like med school, where like that first 2 years like is made to break you.
Oh yeah.
And
they,
like
put the dead carcass in front of you.
yeah, and they're like, because they do it so that they know who can actually handle it and
Yeah.
who can't. Like if you
That's real, though.
have the spirit to stay through the city, like no matter what, even if you came here for like comedy and say that shit didn't work out, like I was watching this YouTube video the other day, and it was like a food thing, and they brought on this guy that does pizza, and he came here for comedy from I think Ohio, and then it didn't work out throughout COVID, and now he owns this really successful pizza spot in LA, and it's like
The
it's just
pipeline from comedy to pizza.
but it's like
That's comical.
I'm fucking crying. But it's just like it's a good city, I think, to live out like your failures,
Yeah.
because
I think
like,
that's a great point.
life is not ever going to
Linear.
go to plan.
Yeah.
And there's again because there's just so much opportunity here, and also the people here are cool. Like you can do. I also like I love about Southern California in general. You can go anywhere. You want some snow? You can drive 2 hours up to Big Bear. You want the beach? Drive 2 hours the other way. Go to the beach. You want to go to the desert? Go down to Death Valley, Coachella Valley. Like there's so much you can do. There's so much to experience. You don't ever really have to leave.
And even just like
should,
the whole
but you don't
state
have
of
to.
California.
Literally.
Like,
I love
you wanna
it.
go up to
I was gonna say like that's my favorite part about LA is like the proximity and like where LA is in terms of like what's surrounding LA, but also like the nature in which like enriches like just California and LA. Like I'm someone that like I've realized into my adulthood, like I love to travel and I love nature. And so like when I've done my like little road trips and like I've now driven the entire like West Coast from like San Diego all the way up to like Forks, Washington, not all in one sitting, but like in the 4 years that I've lived here, I've done the entire like coastline, and it's just so beautiful, like the whole West Coast line, and just being able, like I would have never been able to have done that had I lived in butt fuck nowhere, like my little city in near Columbus, you know, like, and that's like an element that I love about LA is just like being able to go anywhere and just like if I get bored of a place, I can be like, okay, like I'm sick of this area. I want to go and try something new. It's the same thing with like going out to like, if you get sick of one area of like clubbing in one area, you just go to a different area.
Yeah.
And you try a different spot, and then you find that that spot's actually more fun than the last spot. Whereas like you go trying to club in a different city, it's like there's really only 2 spots that are like fun. Whereas like
everybody every weekend.
Right. And it's like that. Yeah. So you had a thought.
I will just say though, you still see everybody every weekend.
LA is like low-key such a small town. Like literally last night I ran into this girl from my high school.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my God, she was so nice.
No, she was literally the sweetest ever, but it was just like crazy because it was literally like, I think I know you. And then it was like, oh my God, we both went to the same, we were in the same sports program. We went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Like,
They've known each other.
like,
Big
that's
city,
crazy.
small city.
The moment I realized LA was a small city was I went on a date.
I know exactly what you're going to talk about.
I went on a date with a guy, and then the next morning, I went out to a club and stuff too, and then the next morning I got a call from a different guy that we were like talking. We weren't ever official, we weren't ever exclusive, and he was like, why'd homies tell me he saw you out last night?
Like what?
And it was multiple people
Damn.
No, that's crazy.
had called the guy I was talking to and said,
I remember
they told
this.
you,
No,
they
that's
told
crazy.
on
Okay,
you.
They told on her. They snitched.
And mind you, I didn't know any of these people either. Like that's the thing. I didn't know the
Just
people that were
people
calling.
be watching
that were
you.
yes.
Why they
was
snitch
like-
for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just thought of
That's when I
something.
knew LA was small.
I want to know if you guys have had this experience.
Clock.
Like, since you come from a red state and you come from a swing state and I come from a blue state,
Oh,
I think I've had
Educated.
a big part of like the culture shock for me is like, well, not Massachusetts, California like is a blue state, but just being in like a red like zone was so crazy. And then just like even seeing like what the state of California is up to, like was that like something that you guys like felt was like, I don't know.
I feel so disillusioned and so I lack empathy extremely when it comes to politics and when it comes to like problems in the world right now. Just because I studied politics when I was like, I don't know, I just grew up very heavily in politics, and then I went to school originally for politics before I went for acting.
An educated woman.
We tried. It didn't happen. So for me,
Still an
personally,
educated
like,
woman.
when it comes to politics and everything that's just happening in the world, it's really hard for me to connect to these things because I feel like I've seen so much over such a long period of time that I'm not surprised by it. But that might just be a me specific thing because I grew up in politics.
Yeah. Well, I guess like my question like for you guys is like, I know that in both of your like home states abortion is illegal. Right? So like is that like something that was like just like laws like that? Like was that a part of the reason why you wanted to come out here? Is that something that like contributes to why you wouldn't want to go back there? Is there any like crossover that you feel?
I mean, I would say for me personally, like I think, like especially for my, like for where I grew up, like oddly enough, Santa Clarita is very similar to like my specific hometown in a lot of weird ways that like like even when my family came to visit, they were like, this is a lot like our hometown. And so like growing up, and it is interesting that like I think, and truly I believe the only reason that I am the way that I am now is because I did theater. But had I not contributed to theater, I think I would be a completely different person. Just because of the way that Ohio education is and the way that Ohio is just run as a state. But I think moving out to California and just like, I think I honestly, I think a big shock for me just because of how little education Ohio brings to its community. I learned a lot at school that I wasn't taught at my school from my peers and from CalArts that like opened my eyes, that like when I tried to bring it back to my family to be like, this is something that was brought to my attention, I was never educated on, and now that I am, I want to bring it to y'all's attention. And they felt attacked on that, and I was like, I couldn't like wrap my brain around like why they couldn't like why my family couldn't meet me on that same level of like, if you're my family, why can't you meet me on that same level of like wanting to be in the same education like level as me? Because like it's not like that. Like I have all this access to education because I'm somewhere that like they're giving me this access to education. We don't, like, you guys were probably never told this. I know I was never told this. Yeah. So let me give you this access to education. And now you don't want to take it because it offends you and it makes you uncomfortable. Yeah. Like that's just something that was so off-putting to me that they weren't open to it. But again, I think it comes from like the community that you surround yourself with and like whether or not you were willing to be open to it. And I think here in California, again, something that was really like interesting to me is that like there is a lot more people that perceive themselves as one way and are not that way. Like they put themselves off as like being this like radicalized, or like they think that they're like, you would perceive them to be someone as like liberal or like this way, and then they're like actually not. Or like I came into California thinking that they were going to be so blue and so like freeing and so radical and so like
liberal mentality.
Yeah. And then when I came to California, and there was actually a lot more redness, and there were actually a lot more people that like thought like how people from back home thought, I was kind of like thrown off by that.
Yeah.
And like the fact that there were a lot of people that were like thinking like that's like that same mentality of like, I'm a cowboy, or like I'm this, and I was like,
I think that's so funny. It's like
cowboy,
like, go to the South.
Cowboy.
I think moving out here, maybe
cowboy.
This, like, I don't want to sound like a bitch when I say this, but like I really don't, because like, but this is like, I think moving out here just really made me understand how much of a privilege education is, and that not everyone is afforded that privilege. And a lot of people, no one at this in here, but I'm just saying like a lot of California people like couldn't show you where another state was on a map, and that's scary. Like a lot of they like even like just, and these are the people that are like voting. Like it's just like, whoa.
But I think that's like just America.
Like in general,
yes.
I think that's America.
It's also
I agree.
hard to, I think, with California, in the sense that like the education in the US, I could kind of sound dumb, but I really
she needs work.
It just like truly dawned on me how different education is in each state.
Yeah,
like
I'm just sorry.
But education within Southern California is also like, it varies.
Yeah,
like
district,
like the district in Santa Clarita is really, really good. But like LAUSD, for example, is the main district for all of Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County is too fucking big. And
I don't know. I've met some dumb as dirt ass people that went through the Santa Clarita.
Yeah, and which then I always point that out to, like, who do you go home to,
right?
You know,
but then look at the colors and look at the numbers. I guess like what I'm trying to say is, coming from like Massachusetts that doesn't have a single red county. There is not a single red county in Massachusetts.
Really?
We've never been red. I've never, like, there's so many things that I've heard out here that are like foreign to my ears, that you're like, oh, my brother's friends have said that, and I'm like, what? Or like, what do you mean you don't know what was that word that, I don't want to say his name on the podcast, but white man at work, I said a word and he was like, what the
patriarchy.
No. Oh, that's a word.
Yeah.
I said
heterosexual.
satire. I'm like, so you're an adult and you don't know what satire means, but you think you can tell me about my fucking
the other day
credit score?
I threw this one into the mix while he was around. I said neurodivergent, and he said, what does that mean? And I said, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to use that against
he didn't know what heterosexual meant.
Like,
and I said, that's
that
you.
is where I'm like, wait,
that one's crazy.
But you still think that you're above me?
All that to say, I think coming from a red state or like a swing state, I think it really just all comes down to how or where you lie your communities, and who, like, whether or not you're open to the change of like seeing your point as wrong, or not like wrong, but like whether or not you're willing to like be open to like what others have to say. And like coming to California, I was shocked that like California wasn't, because I think, and I really do think like TV and like the media and like film like portrayed it in my brain to be this like woke liberal of like just like this, honestly, like just like this yellow sunshine state. Like that's just kind of what my brain put it to be. And when I came here, it's not that I was disappointed, I was just kind of like, oh.
I think this just like really speaks to the wealth gap of Santa Clarita, and just goes back to what you're saying, like that education is a privilege. Like how educated you are ties directly back to like wealth and
like your view on the world.
Yeah.
But I mean,
wealth
I think
yeah.
Specifically, like it, like
grab a water.
I think it's important that we're like, as we're talking about this, to all of our education comes from like literally our family's wealth. Like
because CalArts is not cheap.
It's not cheap, but also just like everyone on this.
Well,
on this
yeah.
I would argue
Yeah.
that I think that it's wealth for sure, but I also think it's your family circumstance.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think that there's like an element of like, you can be incredibly privileged to have these like to access to the knowledge, or your family can be literally like the demographic that is affected by it the most.
Yes.
And you're
Oh, that's a
forced
good
to
point.
like live it and understand it and like decolonize yourself as a result.
Yeah,
you know?
I want to.
But even it being in this position, because I'm like, I didn't grow up in wealth, right? But like I didn't grow up in wealth, but I grew up in the position where going to college was afforded to me, and that in itself, it puts you into a different demographic. Like even if we grew up like my family grew up on food stamps, like all the things, but the fact that I was even put into a position where I could go to college,
Right.
speaks to all of the wealth that we all
Which
share.
is why I kind of like
Interesting.
when I was saying who you go home to, because there
Yeah.
are a lot like the university I went to. I say this a lot, I've said this to you guys multiple times. I don't know if I said it on the pod, but the university I went to, 10% of the population is in the top 1%. So 10% of, or roughly 5,000 kids, so 500 of those kids go home to 1% tax bracket families, and those kids, the ones that I talked to, some of them were really, 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 really smart, really, really, really driven. I'm not trying to generalize, but some of them didn't care because they were just in college to go there because they
Have
could
fun.
and have fun and get their education. And it's the same thing, I think, as well. Like certain people, such as like the man that we were speaking about earlier. I'm sure he was in the same classes that I was in high school. We were learning, I mean, probably not, I was taking APs, but
Right, that's right. Let him know.
She said, let me go.
she said but like it was more of a thing of like when I went to high school and like I was in school, I was like, everything I'm learning is so valuable because I have to go to college because I can't continue the poverty cycle.
Yeah, and
so that was like my
what
mindset.
Sterling was saying,
Yeah.
like about working deconstructing the colonization.
But there's definitely like people who have access to that type of education who like, because it's such a like, it's a privilege, and often privileges are things that you don't know is a privilege. So a lot of people are like, I'm in school and I'm learning this, and I don't want to be in school and I don't want to learn it, therefore I don't care. And then they don't take any of it in.
Yeah.
Just another thought. I don't really know where I was going, but that's like another thing I like think about too.
And I just feel like with education too, like education's such a touchy subject for me because most of my siblings aren't educated, like aren't going to go to college. And there's also just like, that's the way our system is set up. Like the system is set up for people to stay uneducated and for people to say the wild shit that like we're talking about, you know what I mean? Like,
I also saw a very interesting like snippet about that topic exactly, was that so a speaker was saying that, you know, college and higher education used to be the gateway like to pull up the lower middle classes into a higher, it was literally like class mobility to be able to get an education. And now universities pride themselves in rejecting 90% of their applicants. They say that they're so prestigious and that no one can get in, and it's like, what kind of message is that telling people that don't even try to change the station in life that you're in because, you know, you're not worth it.
So I always advocate for your community colleges.
Yes, go to community college, kids.
If you don't know, if you're like, I didn't work that hard enough, I don't know about scholarships, please go to CC. I couldn't go to CC. I like
wish I knew that was an option.
Yeah,
like it's
dude,
so taboo.
I was made to feel so shitty by like my family as well as my school, because I went to a more affluent high school that like I was in AP classes as well, but so like most of these kids got full ride. Either their parents were going to be able to pay for their full rides, or they got scholarships and stuff, and so it was just common. And, you know, there was a teacher who asked us all, like, you know, oh, so what colleges did you get accepted into? And everyone went down and told and like, you know, shared what college they went to or that they got accepted to. And I said the local community college, and everyone just like looked at me and they were silent.
That's so
funny. I felt like such a failure, but honestly, best decision I could have ever made. Like I have very little debt. I got the same level of education and I didn't have to pay for it. Got to stay at home, save money.
Dude, that's so funny. I had such a different experience, and I mean, I guess they were similar like years, but I was always told like CC was like community college was not an option, and like the community college in Santa Clarita is really it's a really good community college. Like they want to make it a 4-year.
Oh, they do? Oh, it like is. I took classes there.
Yeah, no, they want to make it a 4-year. It's like it's a really good CC. But I remember my senior year, I took all APs my junior and senior year, and so like my senior year, the people I had like were in my classes were some of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. And as we were getting close to graduation, each one of them, I think I'm gonna go to COC. I'm going to COC. I'm like, whatever. And I remember I was like, oh, should I go to COC? Because I didn't get to any of my dream schools. I like the school I went to. Very, very grateful. Had a great time at my 4-year. But it was just crazy because I thought my biggest fear was always like I'd be the one going to CC, and like all of my friends would be going to like these 4 years, and then I was like committed to this 4-year, and like some of the smartest people I knew were like, I think I'm just gonna go to COC. I think I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And I was sad because I asked my family like, can I do that? Because I really want to go to ABC school, and like I know I can get in if I go to CC, and they were like, no, that's not like you can't do that. Like it's not good, like you're just gonna get blah 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 blah. But like it was just like crazy that like you had that experience versus like like in my high school experience it was like the opposite, and I was only facing that pushback from my family. Like everybody else was like, yeah, go to CSC if you want to.
I had
a
very similar experience to that, like especially from my dad, because my dad, he went to Dartmouth, and so he like made me apply to Dartmouth, and like I wasn't gonna get in or go, like, and he knew, like I was just like, why are you wasting my time? Like why
the $50 for the application?
That was waived though, so I was like, whatever. I was like, I'm not paying that shit. Like, but I got like. And I like tried on my application, and like I got a recommendation letter, and I'm a legacy, and I had an interview, and I did all this shit, everything, still didn't get in. And like that was like, he was like so upset. It was like the biggest like he did not want me to go to Cal Arts. He wanted me to stay at Berkeley. Like I had like when I was making my college decisions, like it was so much of my dad's voice like trying to tell me what to do. Like community college was never an option for me, and I'm just like, why?
Like because you probably could. I mean, I don't know if CC Dart like Ivies do transfers. They do. Okay.
I also feel like it's a remnant of when they were going to college and how much easier it was to get into college, how much more affordable it was. It was like community college was for like felons, like people who are finishing up their GED.
I will say, like my parents, that's the one thing I will give them some credit for is like my mom, my poor mom. She paid for her college all on her own, but she worked 3 jobs while she was in college. And like she was a bartender, she worked in a factory, and she did some other job like while she was in college just to be an educator. And like
not even just to be, but to be an educator.
To be an educator. And I just remember like, so when like I'm like working 3 jobs like right out of college, my mom's like, oh, like mother like daughter. I'm like, you're sick. You're sick.
She said all legacy.
literally. But or like even my dad's senior year of college, like my grandpa was like, I'm not helping you pay for housing anymore. and your baseball scholarship is up to like help you pay for housing. So like you're gonna have to figure it out on your own. And my dad, being the youngest, like didn't really know what to do. So he couch hopped because he was too poor to like actually find somewhere to live. So he couch hopped his entire senior year, like did not have a place to live, like was practically homeless and like living out of his car his senior year. Crazy, right? And I'm just like, so like I just like I think about when like I'm going through like financial troubles, like why my parents have such patience is because like they were also going through financial troubles like at my age. But yeah, I think like that's probably like education and finance is probably such like a big, I think, city thing, but also like here in LA like is such like a big like just a big, but I kind of wanted to shift the topic a bit from education to asking like, because we talked about a little bit like why we like LA and like why we love being here, but I wanted to ask like if and when, like especially for our LA locals, like what if we wanted to move, like especially like if our careers like because I think for like at least for actors, like we don't necessarily need to be based in LA, but like it's kind of like a more of a preference because like this is technically like the hub of film for now, but like for music, for filmography, for digital media, like or for marketing media, like
yes,
yeah, I was like that's not what you wanted, but like for like for everyone on the bar, I was gonna ask like if and when that time comes, like would y'all move? Is there like a time limit for anybody as to like when they're like no, like in 2 years or like month after graduation or like in the next couple months? Like
I guess for myself, I can strongly say like I'm always going to be like a Southern Cali girl. I think like there's going to be a significant period of my life where I live directly in LA. Maybe when I get older, move further south, down closer to the beach, like Southern Orange County. And I think I'll always have Southern California as like
the home base,
main landing. Yeah, I really want to be able to. I've been thinking about lately like what my most like abundant life looks like, right? And it's to be able to not just travel but have like long stints in places, like 3, 4, 6 months at a time in like different places. So like
I love that.
I would ideally have remote work or be able to like run my business through like remotely, and then just be in different places in the world, and then ultimately just like kind of come back to either like LA or Southern OC or something like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cammy, I feel like I see a thought brewing in your head.
No thoughts.
Not yet. Oh, do you want to?
My life plan has always been what Sterling has said. Like when I was thinking about what I wanted to do, like I've always been like, oh, I would love to settle. I've always said I want to settle like kind of Burbank, Studio City area, just because I think it is the perfect location of closer to LA, but still like suburb. Like I'm still like when I went to y'all's place last night, like you live in such a cute area, but I would like hate to have to drive around there to like do anything. Like I like that's fair. I need
fucking potholes.
Yeah, like I just
Saturdays, Sundays. Are the worst.
I just need like open space in like my living area. So I've always been like I wanted to settle there, but I think it would be such a disservice to myself to stay in LA for like my entire life. Like I think there's so much world to see. I tell everybody, especially just like in the US alone, like there's so much like lifestyle change and lifestyle differences, and then like obviously it's abroad, and so I like literally living in a different country and like seeing the different, like I just think it would be a disservice to myself to like stay in one place for my entire life. What that looks like now, I'm unsure. When I graduated, I didn't want to move back home at all. I wanted to live in New York.
I also had that phase too.
Yeah, but I was determined because one of my really good friends had a job lined up in New York. So we were like talking about moving there together, but then her job ended up getting pushed back a couple months. So she's a travel bug. She like lived in so many different countries in that time. And I couldn't find any jobs, so I came back here. And then obviously I'm still like trying to find my footing. And if I'm being honest, I have been in LA, I think, longer than I would like. Like, I kind of wish I wasn't really here right now. I would love to be somewhere else and living somewhere else and then come back here. But since I have been here for so long, and what I want to do on more back end entertainment requires like being in office, which like sucks, and all the offices exist in 2 cities, here or
San Francisco.
No, here or New York. Those are the only 2 places. I mean, like Atlanta and like Nashville are big cities, but I have a thing about
the South.
Well, no, I think the South, like the thing, I would love to go to the South, and every Southern person I met is really cool. I just know that I am too soft and privileged of living in a state where, especially in the political climates we live in, like whatever happens federally generally doesn't affect California, but it affects places like Georgia and Tennessee. I don't know if I am built to live in a place where like I actually don't have a right to abortion, you know? Like here, like, I'm like, dang, that's so scary and crazy, but like I can still live in a bubble because it doesn't really affect California. Like it does to a certain extent, but not like states' rights, whatever. Anyways, that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can go to those states.
That's how I feel too, or I would so go to Nashville.
Yeah, like I would love to live in Georgia. So and like I would love to live in Atlanta. Atlanta looks like such a cool place to live. I just don't know if I can deal with that.
Atlanta scares me.
Really? But yeah, I don't know what it looks like, but I do know that I don't want to be here for some part of my life. But I do think I'd come back if it gets cheaper. If it continues getting more expensive, I might have to find a different state. Loving
Girl, let's go to Europe.
Oh yeah, I want to live in London. I want to live in Amsterdam.
Let's get a house in Italy.
Let's get a house in Italy. My only thing is I gotta learn the language. I hated not being able to speak.
Yeah,
I hated
that's real.
not being able to speak the native language. I felt so bad. I was like, I just felt like I'm forcing you to communicate with me. I'm not.
So maybe we're getting a house in London.
I'm forcing you to communicate with me because I don't know your language. I just felt bad about it. I was like, I gotta learn.
That's real. So maybe a house in London.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I would love to like maybe do long stints somewhere, or like there's this one influencer I follow, and she grew up in San Diego, lived in New York for a little while, and now she was just vibing in Paris, and she's like 28.
Emily in Paris.
Maybe something like that. I don't know, but I do want to experience the world. I want to live different places.
That's
for sure.
real.
Slay.
That's real and true.
What about y'all?
Should I go first? You want to go first?
Go.
Okay. I think I kind of said this like earlier, but I'm gonna give myself until I'm 25, see how I'm feeling. If I'm bored of this city, I'm probably gonna leave. Yeah, like if I'm bored, then like if I get like too comfortable here, then I'm probably gonna leave and go somewhere else. Also, depending on like the political climate, I might leave the country. I'd love to go to like, because I wouldn't just want to move like anywhere overseas. I'd really just want to be in a good spot like for music too. So I'd say like probably London, maybe Spain, like a Barcelona. Like I'd love, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Joder.
Is Amsterdam like a good place? I like isn't Germany like a good like hub for like music, or is it only house music?
Like, yeah, probably. That's the thing about Europe, is it's very Eurocentric.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So then I'm like, that's another aspect of it. And then even with like London, like you can't like own property there. Like it all is like the king. Like that's like their whole thing.
No
like
house for us.
yeah, like you can't buy a house in London. Like that's not a thing.
That's low-key how Mexico works too.
Yeah, like it's all like you just pay to the fucking royal
Would
family.
you go to like Korea?
No.
Why Korea?
Because Korea, it's such a like,
I mean,
the music industry there is
I
like
see.
so booming.
I feel like I'd go to
and I think
Japan
it's
before.
so booming globally. Like I think just in because I used to be like really into like K-pop and stuff, and so
Okay,
now
that makes
like
sense.
I like. Okay, so first of all,
No, not that you were into K-pop, but that that's why I asked that question. Not that. Sorry, that was
Clip
really
that.
bad timing. Clip that. No, makes sense why you were asking.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I did not. That you caught a stray for no reason. I'm so sorry.
To be honest, it makes sense both ways. It was just funny because you went makes sense.
Yeah, I had like so much bass in my voice. Like, damn, God.
Like, damn.
that makes sense.
But yeah, I was just curious just because it like the industry is becoming so much more global. I mean, it's becoming more westernized.
No, that's true.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing so much more work out here that I was
Yeah.
curious if you like that was a place you would consider
Like-
because you could still do stuff for Western.
I don't know.
industry,
Like
but, not
maybe
here.
we'll see.
But also it's hard because moving there.
And then
has
like
its
learning
own problems.
Korean is like
Mhm.
like I definitely want to learn, and like that's a really hard language. Like I don't know. It's like I don't know where I'd go. I feel like I would.
Where the wind takes you.
Yeah, I do want to have a New York minute. I'd love to like stay in Brooklyn for like a year. Like I feel like, and then like see how I feel. I feel like things are very like up in the air right now, but like I'm kind of just embracing that, I guess. And like I'm like, you know what? In 2 years, I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do. Like
Exactly.
I'm not really.
That's real.
It's like when
Exactly.
someone asks me about kids, I'm like, the me right now wasn't thinking.
For
Oh, that's a whole.
The me right
nother-
now wasn't concerned.
Right.
That's a whole nother couple of years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's older Sav's issue.
Cammy, what about you, girl?
I love LA. I'm an LA girl through and through. I definitely think I'll be based here. I think I'll be based in New York too, though, and I want to have property in out of the country. Like I just know I'm gonna be everywhere. Like I know
travel.
that I'm gonna
Exactly.
be everywhere. I'm gonna be working everywhere. I'm gonna be traveling everywhere.
Literally.
We should all buy an island.
I've lived on an island.
I remember
shit
that
is so
story.
fire.
You need to tell that story one.
Yeah,
at some
Washington Pod story loading. Great story. But would ideally love to have a family compound somewhere. I don't know if that'll be in Utah. I could see it being in Boston, either in Boston or Connecticut. I could see.
Like a Nara Smith moment. Okay,
Yeah, bro.
yeah. Because
Nara.
Connecticut, like she's like the connecting.
Yeah.
Connecticut's beautiful.
I want to have
in the
like
fall.
just like a large plot of land where I can build homes for all my family members, and they can live there if they want to, or they can use it as their vacation homes if they want to. Whatever they want to
That
do.
is so sweet.
And that will be like my family base, or my children will grow up, you know. And then, but it needs to be somewhere ideal, like close to where I can travel.
right.
So
That is so
I don't know if
sweet.
that'll be in Utah. I mean, in LA or not.
I love
I don't have
that.
that much land out here.
That's what
Yeah.
makes me go.
There's
It might have to be
not that much land out
Arizona.
here.
Yeah. Oh.
You'd have to do something like bleep this name, but like JJ, like
Right.
He's buying. He was telling me this day. His brothers has this big plan to like buy the houses and around them in Algodosa and turn it into a compound. So
Yeah.
they just have their family live there.
Oh shit.
And I
But
respect that.
That's like
you'd have to live in Algodosa. You know.
I feel like if it's not like me buying compound, it's me investing in like my community and like buying buying literal apartment complexes in Utah that my family can live in if we don't get the.
There's a woman that I don't know all the facts to it, but I saw a snippet of the documentary, so I think it's worth sharing. That this woman was buying out a town, like a small town somewhere, and was buying all the property, and then she was just saying like, yeah, like I'm the mayor now, basically.
And
that
as she
sounds
should.
Yeah,
and
she, like,
I'm the mayor.
and she
It's
basically
great.
like started her own like
I'm the sheriff.
yeah, like she started her own like police department, but like it's called like the neighborhood watch or something. So it's like completely legal, but like they're really the ones who are controlling the town. Yeah.
And
Come on,
see,
so
and let's
loose.
get into that because that's literally what it is that's what it is everywhere in America. Like the
Literally.
people who buy it are the ones who control it. And that's also my thing with like
Clock it.
with like I don't know, policy and politics, coming back to that.
Real.
It's hard for me to like I don't know how to phrase this correctly. It's just hard right now when I know that money is the thing behind everything in policy.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to
It's hard not to get apathetic.
bank on it. Yeah.
Guys,
That's
I
where I'm
might-
kind of at.
I might have to bite the bullet and get a California
License?
plate.
Oh.
And that's like really upsetting for me because I don't want to contribute.
Do you want to know how much I'm spending on my car registration.
I'm crying.
Bring this up for a second
registration.
time. $300.
Damn.
That's honestly not that.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know someone who-
600.
I know someone who lives in or has their car registered in Utah. $30. Like $20,
That's
$30.
not my family. Whoa.
What?
Also depends
well, my
on
brother
the
has
make and
like a-
model of the car.
Okay.
My brother has a lot of problems on his driver's record, so ours is at like
Well,
2,000.
that's
Okay.
like my best friend's
2,000.
boyfriend. He has a really old Chevy, like it's from like the 70s. Registered in California. He pays $60 for his registration. So it depends on the make and model of the car.
I'm
as
not
well.
getting a California I'm not.
You don't
I'm-
want one because of other reasons,
Yeah,
though.
I just can't do it. Like, I'm gonna have to figure something out.
Wait, and
'cause-
why don't you want it?
Because I just like can't like.
Morally
Like,
stand
I mean,
behind.
like, but like you guys have California plates, and this isn't like me saying like a dig at you guys, but like I can't like it's just, and I know that like just everything in this country is fucked up, but like the fact that all California license plates are manufactured through slave labor is like really upsetting to me, and the fact that like
The
could have
prison
been,
system.
yeah,
Oh.
like the fact
Is that not the case everywhere?
no.
I did not know that. I
Not
thought
at
that was
all.
the case across the country.
Not at all. And so that's also
Oh.
why I brought up like coming from like an extremely blue state to like, because that's a
Oh.
crazy, it's just, and the fact that could have been like,
eradicated and we voted no. That was crazy.
Like that's crazy to me. And now I'm like, oh, and then you want me to fucking get one? Don't piss me off. No. And then my mom was like, oh, well, like in Massachusetts, like we pay them. I was like, right.
Is
The silence.
Wait,
They get paid, and in California they get paid, but they get paid like 50 cents an hour. Like it's like
Yeah.
basically nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's more in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it is? I'm curious.
It's like, I think it's like, I actually don't
Sorry,
know.
I keep toe touching you.
I don't know. I think it might be like just below minimum wage. So like still not good, but like I don't know. It's just like upsetting. I might have to bite the bullet and just do it, but I'm really gonna try not to. Massachusetts is just really particular about like if the car's not in the state, then they're gonna question me and ask why.
Yeah, I know California might start getting on your ass too about that.
Yeah, that's
low-key.
when it's like
Why?
Low-key, California don't care. Like
yeah,
people be
they,
having
like-
their plates for like years.
True. I feel like there's too many people, but like I know if you ever need to like get new insurance or something,
Yeah.
they'd be on your ass about that for sure. They'd be like, that doesn't make sense.
I just
Yeah, that's true.
I-
If you have different insurance.
Yeah, but
But that's a
I was-
bridge you're gonna cross when you get there.
yeah, like in 2 months.
And that's not now, though, right?
Nope,
That's not
nope.
now.
I was gonna say, but right before we close out, I was gonna say where I was gonna.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sorry. Please.
No, you're fine. Really quickly before we close out this episode, where I would like, I love LA. I will never move back to Ohio. Peace and love. It's just not for me. It's a great place for me to see my family, and it's a great place for me to visit. I will never move back. Sorry, mom and dad. They know it. I know it. I will never be moving back to Columbus, Ohio. And I love LA. I'll probably be out here for a bit. The only places I really see myself ever moving is Europe, somewhere in Europe, probably Italy, London, Scotland, somewhere in Europe. I'm not really sure where, but I could see myself moving there. Or honestly, like Washington or Montana. In the terms of like when I like am in a very stable part of my career that I can like have a home there, and I just like, because especially for most actors, like everything is like in terms of like everything's on location, so you don't necessarily need to be like based in a certain city to like work, but it is very convenient to be based in LA when you're starting off your career, because like meetings and especially right now, like meetings and a lot of things in production for TV is just in LA. I can also see myself in Nashville. I like my boots.
Get into it.
And, you know, like I could see myself in Nashville too. And it's kind of close to home, but I just like the West Coast a lot. And I really do love Washington a lot, and specifically Seattle. It reminds me a lot of home in different ways, but like it's just like better in different ways. But yeah, that's kind of my like 2 cents. And I think to kind of round us off,
Yeah, I wanted to say one last thing. Like, it will be so interesting to listen back to this and hear
I
our
know,
takes in like
right?
a year, let alone like
my
5 years. Like
God.
I feel like LA, like my experience of LA has changed each year that I've lived
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
No kidding.
And it'll
It's
just be
been a
so
whole
interesting.
journey.
Yeah.
This is like our own little like archive. Like,
Guys,
yeah.
which one of us do you think is gonna have a kid first?
oh hell.
We'll take a
Not
poll.
to bring up a kid.
We can have an Instagram poll.
I just like want to know like who we think.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not me, so we can.
It's not you.
It's
No.
not Sav. We can put that.
Oh, don't leave a child with.
I feel like it might be Bella.
I feel like it.
Really? Okay.
That's my answer. I think Bella or Sierra.
Ooh.
Oh, I was gonna say you. Okay, maybe none of us.
I
y'all.
was between
I don't
you
know.
and Bella. My thing is,
No one's
Cammy,
been happy.
I'm chronically single. Who the fuck am I having a kid with?
But
God?
like, bitch, but like, out of everyone here, you would pop out with the most stable relationship. Out like
Real.
oh, I
like-
think that is a compliment. That
yeah,
And I agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah, why was
like
I,
respectfully to
why
you,
was I
bitches.
thinking like which one of us is gonna like be oopsie daisy first? Like that's
no,
Why are we saying me?
No, guys. The context in which I meant it is like when we're like stable in our career.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Not
And I
like the
think
oopsie
Bella.
daisy.
Like, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
And that's why I say you or Bella. You two.
yeah.
I think I probably would say one you or I.
Can I? You guys? Can I throw a red? Not a red herring, but like a crazy.
don't even look at me. Don't even look at me. bitch.
No, I don't wish that on her. I don't wish that on her.
I feel like if anything,
you two because you two like I will be like yeah.
Can we?
No,
Like-
my thing is.
one in a relationship right now.
My thing is. Oh.
Literally the only one here in a relationship.
First of all, she's the only one with the prospect at the moment. But I just feel like if my only thing is with you, Sterling, is I feel like right now your mindset is so like I need to be like successful. So I feel like once you get there, I could totally see you like just being like. It wouldn't be that bad.
You would have
it
one
wouldn't be
kid.
the worst.
Only one kid. I would only have.
Yeah,
one
like
kid, yeah.
I could see you being like, oh, I've achieved most of what I wanted to do. This wouldn't be.
How do I make an optimal child?
Yeah.
like,
How do I make
Or
it
if I'll
worst
have a
day.
kid, but I won't be the first.
Who's
Like,
your
I think-
answer? Who's
who's
yours?
my answer?
Who's your guys' answer?
I think you or I don't know. I feel like you. I don't know.
Can you just
But, like,
explain
I
why?
feel like I just see you like you know, like you have your man, then you have your movie, you win your Oscar, you have
Exactly.
your baby. Like I feel like it's giving
Okay.
that.
Boom, boom, boom.
But then I feel
Okay.
like for me, like my like trajectory of what I see or hope is like whatever, like, you know, tour, then a tour, then a tour, then a tour. But then like you have your movie and your like, you know what I'm saying?
I hear
like,
you, but I feel like I'll also be touring. Like
yes.
I feel like.
But I feel like you could be a touring mom. Like I feel like you would do that. But also, I'm not putting that on you. Like,
Thank
fuck them
you,
kids.
thank you.
Real.
Yeah, we're
Real.
not
Like,
putting this on any one of us.
I don't know why I feel offended by the fact that you guys think I would be a mother. You know, like
Like you're nurturing.
Thanks.
You'd have your girl.
Yeah, you're very
Either
nurturing
either
soul.
gonna be like I'm either gonna
Thanks, guys. Let
just
me
do
take
one
this
and
as a
done,
compliment.
like a one. Like I honest to God, I just want one birth, twins. That's it, one and done.
you can't plan
Or-
that.
Girl, I will make it happen. I'm psycho.
She's doing all of them like herbal shit.
Or I feel like I'm gonna have like and maybe this is like. Maybe we can cut this out, but like an Angelina Jolie moment
That's how I feel.
where like I just like adopt a bunch of kids.
Like that's what, because I don't know if I want to give birth.
Wait,
But
real.
this episode is going on like 2.5 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, do you
Oh my
want
gosh.
to end it?
I
and
would
then
love to end it. We can
this
continue the convo.
conversation? Okay.
Yeah. But on that note of kids, I think it's time for us to head on.
I have to go back to fucking rehearsal.
Oh,
Damn.
Oh.
Like straight away.
Yes.
I hope the sun's still out. 'Cause I
Thank you
wanna
so much for
enjoy
coming.
this. Thank you so much for listening to
Thanks
about.
for having me.
Thank you
That
for.
was my bad for bringing that up. I
I'm
feel like you
screaming.
said bye and then I said.
We can cut that
Yeah,
out.
I think
if you
like,
want.
yeah.
We can revisit it another time.
Yeah,
too.
right?
But we can. like,
Okay,
just-
wait.
we can
Did
be
you
like-
say bye for real?
No, sorta.
Well, no, we can just. We can kind of be like.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah,
we'll
let's
see
see
you
you.
next
Head it out.
time.
Before
we'll
we get
see you
into
next
tangents, let's just
time.
have
Because we will keep yapping.
I thought was that not
you
it?
brought up like our
Okay.
future us, and then I was like, oh my god, who's gonna have a kid first?
But yeah,
like-
I would. Cause
Let me cut the record and then we can talk about next week. Unless Tammy, you have to go. No, it's okay. I have time.
It is so hot in here. I sweat off all my fucking deodorant. I was like, I hope you can't smell.
Bro,